everyone is at a different stage financially. Whether you're trying to pay off debt, maybe you're trying to save for retirement, you're trying to just reach financial freedom, or you're just trying to get some breathing room in your budget. Whatever it is, money saving tips help you get there. It's the little things that you do that you start habitually that add up over time. And I love to share a big group of tips in a video so that you can take the ones that apply to your situation. Speaking of that situation, I want to hear from you. What stage are you in? What are you here for? Are you here because you're paying off debt? Are you here because you're looking for a little breathing room, or you're going to be retiring soon, or whatever it may be? Let me know in the comments down below. This helps me to gauge what type of content my viewers need me to try to produce for them. So if you could add that to the comments down below, this will help me gauge future videos for you. Now, let's get into the tips. Number one is to ask if you can pay in cash. Now, hear me out by this. That's not just carrying around a ton of cash. This is keeping a little cash on you, because there are some times when you can get a discount or the cost is less when you pay in cash. There have been several times over the past probably 4 years when I've gone to either a small restaurant or a small store and I've paid in cash, because I do carry a little bit of cash with me and I will pay in cash. And they go, oh, it's actually, I don't know, $2 cheaper. It's less because you're paying in cash. This happens quite often where they don't have to pay, the retailer, the store or the restaurant doesn't have to pay the card fee, processing fee that the card company charges them. They will then pass that discount on to you. So it might be worth asking at the next place you go, the small restaurant, the small store, because usually the big box places don't do this, but asking, if I pay in cash, is it less? Number two is to never make big purchases without doing homework on your options. And for me, big purchases could be getting a new toaster oven. Anything that's over, I don't know, $50, I try to look into a little bit, especially if it's something that works via electricity or is an electronic, or then you get into the bigger items such as vehicles, even housing. You need to do your homework. This is researching the market, researching from small to big. Is this a good purchase? Does it have good reviews? What is the longevity? What is the maintenance on this item? What are the potential unknowns? So when people look at business, they look at what are the risks? What are the unknowns? What are the known knowns? Like, this could happen to this thing, so I need to be prepared for it. Number three is to create a spending wish list. Okay, this is when you come across something that you see is interesting to you. Whereas in today's day and time, most people realize they can do buy now, pay later. They can swipe and click a button. It is so easy to give into that impulse. Rather than doing that, do not do it unless it's something you need. Okay, your tennis shoes are falling apart. You need to go get a new pair of tennis shoes. You don't have any others. But most of the time, a lot of spending is not planned spending. It is not necessary items. It's unintentional items. It's impulse buys. By putting this stuff on a list, keeping it on your phone, you've itched that item, right? You've gone, ooh, okay, I'm gonna put it on my wish list. This is my wish list. This is the thing that I want. It's right there. And most of the time, that actually might be enough. You might look back at that list the next time you add something else and go, you know, I really didn't want that. It was an emotional time. I had a bad day when I wrote that down. It looked really cute on this person on social media. It's just not for me. Creating this helps you. And then what it does then is, if you see something that's still on that list and you see it a couple of times and you still want it and it happens to be in the budget that month, then hey, you know that's actually a good non-impulsive purchase. Number four, post-holiday shopping. If you didn't watch my video where I talked about preparing for the holidays now, 3 months before the holidays, I'll post that down below. You really should check that out. Let's get prepared so that January doesn't freak us out when we get the credit card bills. But after January, or in January, in February, let's say we didn't go crazy during the holidays, we've got a little extra money hanging out. If you really did need those new decorations, then wait till the day after a holiday, any holiday. If you want to get new Valentine's Day decor, just wait till the very next day. You can go anywhere and get things at a huge discount. This is for any holiday whatsoever. The thing to remember is, though, just because it's on sale doesn't mean you need it. If it's like you need to replace your artificial Christmas tree, or you need to replace your string lights, or you need to replace the wreath, or you want to go and buy some nice wrapping paper and bows at a super deep discount and you buy them in January, those are intentional. Just remember, just because it's on sale doesn't mean you need it. Number 5 is to do monthly savings challenges. These are great ways to, I don't know, there's something about a challenge that is a game to me. And when there's a game going on, I'm more likely to do it because, I don't know, maybe I'm competitive that way. But you could do so many challenges. You could do the $5 bill challenge. So let's say you do carry a little bit of cash around with you. Every time you get a $5 bill, you just put it in an envelope in your drawer. You keep it. At the end of the year, you've got a $5 bill for every time you saved it. You could put this towards anything that you would want. You could do a no coffee month. This is where you don't buy any coffee whatsoever out. This might be breaking a really bad habit, but every day that you would normally buy coffee, let's just go with round numbers here. Let's say it's $5 a week. You're going to set that $5 aside. You're going to have $20 to $25 at the end of the month. Bank that money. You could also do a no spend month, which, stay tuned, in a couple months I'm going to do all about how to do a no spend January or February, whichever one you want to do, how to do a no spend month. There's still a lot of confusion about what a no spend month is. People think really it's no spending. Like, I'm not paying my mortgage, I'm not paying my rent, I'm not paying my utility bills. No. That is not what it is. It is not spending on unnecessary items. So it's not going out to eat. It's not buying extra items not on your list at the grocery store. You are still paying for all of your needs, but you are not paying for unnecessary items. The next one is to ask for discounts whenever you're out, or in-store coupons. You never know. You can be darn sure that when I become a senior citizen, and there are still such a thing as senior citizen discounts, hopefully, I am going to be the one to ask as soon as I get to the checkout. Number 7 is to opt out of trendy fashion items. This is a great way to waste too much money, to waste too much stuff, to go through clothing like crazy. You can find classic pieces with a slight trend in them. I'll get comments here or there. I like your shirt. I like this shirt. I like that shirt, Jennifer. And where did you get it? And a lot of times I have to think back because they're pieces that I hang on to for a long time. For instance, this shirt. Let's see. I got this at a store 2.5 years ago, I believe, and I still absolutely love it. It's something that I can wear spring, winter, or fall because it's thin. There's just things that you can still buy that are a little bit classic and a little bit trendy. Not saying this is trendy at all, but it works within the color palette that works on my skin tone. It's something I feel comfortable and confident in. But staying away from those trendy items that are, the 52 seasons of the year that clothing companies come up with. There's always a new trend. I like to stick with what makes me feel comfortable and what makes me feel confident. Number 8 is to take care of your vehicle. A vehicle is what's called a depreciating asset, which means it never goes up in value. Sure, there's classic cars that go up in value, but for the rest of us that don't have classic cars, cars are a depreciating value. Houses are oftentimes what are called an appreciating value, which they increase in value. So with a depreciating value item, you need to take care of it so it lasts as long as you can, so you get the most uses out of it. It's the per use cost idea. So this involves making sure you're changing that oil, making sure you're rotating those expensive tires so they don't get bald on one side and not on the other, keeping your tires properly inflated because it does help with gas mileage. I told a story a couple years ago about someone who I knew had a vehicle. They had the check engine light on for months, and a small fix ended up being the vehicle was pretty much done. The repair for it cost more than the vehicle was worth just because they just let it go. They didn't pay attention to it and they let it sit there on for a long time. These things are there for a reason. Yeah, sometimes they're on because it's just a technical glitch, but you need to check it out. And you got to make sure you're taking a depreciating value and you're extending its life as long as you can. Number 9 is to reuse items that you already have on hand. And there are so many good ideas for reuse items. If you want me to do a new video on ways to reuse common things that you might otherwise get rid of or throw away, let me know in the comments down below. Reusing items could be something like a t-shirt. Let's say it's a t-shirt that you wear out and about, and you get some stains on it. So now it's a t-shirt you wear at home when nobody sees you. And then it starts to get some holes in it. So then it turns into cut up pieces that you use as cleaning rags. These are ways to reuse and create new lives for the things that we buy. Number 10, if you are going to have a credit card, do not have credit cards with annual fees. It is absolutely, completely not necessary. There are so many credit cards that do not have any fees that it is just such a waste. I would never have credit cards are what got me in trouble in my 20s in the first place, let alone having a credit card that then charges you a fee. No, thank you. Make sure, keep in mind, this is just a bonus tip, pay off your credit card every single month. Have the money to pay it off before you even spend the money on that credit card. Don't get into a situation where you don't have the money to pay it off. Number 11, if shopping has become a hobby, find a new one. This was me, I think in my late 20s. Shopping was a hobby. It was something I did with someone who was a friend of mine at the time. It was how we hung out. We went shopping. We went out for lunch. Sometimes we went and got our nails done, and we hung out and walked around the mall and browsed and bought a few things. It was a hobby. And it was wasting so much money. And I had to step back from that friendship because that's really the only connection that we actually had. I had to decide healthier habits. And at that time, that was before I had a child. Those healthier habits were working out. They were learning about money, going back into how I grew up frugally, tapping back into that, looking and reading books, listening to books on audio on my car while I was driving, getting my mind in a different place, creating better hobbies that were more in line with where I wanted to be. Number 12 is to shop early for your holidays. I told you about this video earlier. I'll post it again in the comments down below. This is just, there's so many tips about not just shopping early for the holidays, but getting prepared. Food-wise, stocking up on the foods that you need, really thinking about planning out the season so it's less stressful. And so many of you have already commented that you already have your shopping done, which just made my heart melt, and so happy for all of the organized planning people I have watching this channel. It's just amazing. I'm like, you guys are ahead of me this season. It's awesome. So shopping early. Shopping early helps you to get things done. You're not stressed. You're not paying full price. Anyway, check out that video in the description box down below. Number 13, if you've been around a bit, you know how I feel about social media, meaning the scrolling social media. Sure, YouTube is called a video sharing and social media platform. I use it for educational or entertainment purposes. I don't like to scroll and see things that aren't for me. Anyway, my whole point of this tip is be careful what you're watching on social media. There are so many things on social media that are made for us to see so that we want it, so that we envy it, so that we buy it, so that we go into debt for it, so that we feel bad because we don't look this way, we don't have this thing. The most freeing thing to think about is there will never be a time when there isn't somebody above you that has more than you. Even when you gain more, there will always be the next person who has more. It's something you can never achieve. So when you get away from that, when you get away from the idolization of what we call, I'm a Christian, false idols, idolizing these things that aren't good for you, and that social media can just make you feel icky when you get off of it. So pay attention to who you're watching, what you're consuming. How do you feel when you're finished scrolling? Do you feel down? Do you feel bad about yourself? If you do, then it's probably something you need to try to limit or remove for at least 30 days to see if it makes a difference. Number 14, we're going to go way practical from a little bit more philosophical with the social media. During the warmer months, whenever that is, use your air fryer or your toaster oven more often than your oven because it heats up way less, okay? During the cooler months, use your oven. Use your oven all at once. If you're making oven items, just keep it on. Keep the oven items going. Make your appetizer, your main course, your dessert. Keep the oven flowing. It's fine because you're heating up your house then. Number 15, if you're one that likes to go out for a lot of entertainment, I am not. I'm pretty much satisfied hanging out at home. I enjoy it. It also saves me money and I don't feel like I'm missing out. But that's not to say when you don't go out for entertainment or things to do, activities, we do that as well. Find discounts. Find out the best times to go. Use the internet to your advantage now because all this information is so online that you could just search, look for discounts, look for coupons, look for the best times, look for the less crowded times. Use the internet to find deals on your entertainment. Number 16 is to take care of your clothes. I talked about not buying as trendy of pieces, but buying classic pieces. But then it's also taking care of them so they last longer. When you run something through the dryer and the lint that it collects in the lint filter, all of that are little pieces of fabric or of thread that were in your clothes that are pulling away from your clothes. When you think about that and you go, oh, that's probably not a good thing. No, we're taking care of it. Using less laundry detergent. You do not need to use the amount of laundry detergent recommended on the bottle or the container. It just isn't necessary unless you are out and you are literally working in the mud, okay? I get it. Or you sweat profusely because you are exercising, you run fitness classes, that kind of a thing, and there's the smell that's in your clothes. You got to get all that stuff out. Then I might understand it, but most of the time you don't. Using cold water, being gentle. If we wear something for a couple hours, do we really need to wash it? Does it need to be ironed? Does it need this, that? Hanging it up properly, treating it well, making sure that these pieces that we have last for a long time. Again, the key here for that frugal mindset is the cost per use, extending the life, which creates a lower cost per use. Number 17 is to avoid those impulse purchases, to shop intentionally. Talked earlier about this a bit in one of the other tips. So many things are purchased impulsively without taking the time to breathe, and it has been made so much easier for us now. Just think decades ago, you had to spend time driving to the store. You had to look around the store. You had to really think about what you were buying. You had to stand in line, do the checkout. And yes, you can still do that now, but there's so much online shopping that's just in the last 8-10 years has become so huge and so easy, and the carriers bringing the packages are out all the time. You can get something at 4 a.m. in the morning and you can make 4 payments on something that costs $20. We've got to step back and think about impulsive buying because that is what can get you into trouble. It's certainly what got me into trouble. Number 18, when you're buying in bulk, do so when it makes sense. So for us in our household, what makes sense for us to buy in bulk? Toilet paper, paper towels, flour. I use a lot of flour because I make my own bread. There are things like olive oil. We'll buy in the big container, the organic olive oil. Things that are long shelf stable items that buying in bulk for us is better because it's, again, lower cost per unit. Buying in bulk when it's something that has an expiration date or you don't use as often is something that I'm wary of. I don't even buy like meat in bulk necessarily because when you take it out of its original packaging, sure, you can put it in the freezer and you try to separate it, even when you use your vacuum sealer, you still have to use it within a certain amount of time or that freezer burn does happen. Number 19, if you're one that likes to buy new home decorations or always switch up something or bring something in new or find something cute when you're out and about, it might be worth just rearranging furniture, just moving some pieces. Sometimes your eye sees stuff around it and it gets stale. And so rather than bringing more stuff into your home, maybe you just replace a couple of throw pillows or you replace a throw blanket. You put something with a bright color for a different season. You move the knickknacks on your shelves around or you change out the pictures in your picture frames. Sometimes these little changes, even just rearranging the furniture, it gives you such a fresh look and a fresh feeling when you walk back in your home. And the cool thing about that is if you enjoy your home, you're going to want to spend more time in it rather than needing to go out for entertainment. Number 20 is learn how to make your own bread. Are you gonna wanna hear what I did today for the first time? I'm literally looking at them right now. I'm so excited. So, you know, if you've been around, I've had a sourdough starter for a year and a half now, and I make beautiful loaves of sourdough every single week. It is the sandwich bread that my daughter uses for her sandwiches to school. It's the stuff I use. I eat all the time. I'll toast it up with scrambled eggs and hot sauce. That is my obsession. I absolutely love it. My husband loves it as well. You can then take the end pieces and make sourdough croutons. But today, well, started yesterday, I made my own sourdough hamburger buns. They turned out so cute. I'm sure it'll turn out perfect, even more perfect the next time. But it was such a good, easy thing. Now, if you need to know about sourdough, you can look up on Pinterest. If you can find somebody with a starter that's already started, that's the best thing, because getting it started is the hardest part. Keeping it going is different. Now, so many of you have asked kind of about my sourdough and how I do it. And a lot of people who are friends of mine I've given starters to as well, and I've had to write it down. I almost think, should I make a video showing the entire process of what I do and how it works? And that way, even when I give it to my friends, I could just share the link of the video and they could see. Is that something you would be interested in? Let me know in the comments. Number 21, do not go to the grocery store hungry, sad, or angry, or even sick. Not because, not just because being sick, you don't want to spread it around to everybody else. Sometimes you don't have any other option. You're the only one in the household that's at the end and just now getting it, and you've got to go out and grab some stuff. Do so carefully. But when you are sick, you go and you don't care. You will just throw all the soups, the ginger ales, the medication, the nose sprays, all of it in your basket. It's like a whirlwind. You're in a fog, Has anybody else been there? This has been me. Or even as a mom, when your child is sick and my husband might be here watching her, and I'm like, I gotta go to the store. I gotta get all the things. What is she gonna want? Does she need some lollipops? Not lollipops. What do you call those? Frozen pops for your throat. The juice pop things. What does she need? Ginger ale. What can I get her to eat? Some crackers. And you don't even think. There's no list. There's just survive, make child better that you throw. And the same thing when you're angry or you're sad. You're not in the emotional state of mind to go out and frugally shop or to smartly apply to the list. So it's best to, if you can, avoid it. Number 22 is one that I've been doing since I became pregnant, which I'm not pregnant now. I'm talking about 9 years ago when I was pregnant. I do never leave home without water. Ice water in a to-go, either like a Yeti or some sort of insulated drink, or snacks. I do not leave home. I do not go to work without snacks. I carry my cooler with me. I pack my snacks. My snacks go on my weekly grocery shopping list. I know at certain points I'm going to be hungry, and if I have something readily available in my purse or in my car that can satisfy that urge, rather than me going through a drive-thru and eating something terrible for me, or stopping at a gas station and getting something terrible for me, I'm not only going to save money, I'm going to do something better for my health. And the water is just great to stay hydrated, because a lot of times we will contribute hunger with what is actually thirst. Number 23 takes into account challenges. I told you about money saving challenges. Well, I recommend, if you're trying to get over impulse spending, or you're actually just trying to save a lot of money quickly, or up over a year, maybe you've got a goal, do no spend weekends once a month, or a no spend day every week. So we talked about earlier in the video what no spend was. So this is a weekend where you don't do entertainment. This is a weekend where you don't go out to eat. This is a weekend where you don't go out shopping and buying anything. Maybe this is the last weekend of the month. That's when you have the least amount of money before your budget kicks in for the next month. Maybe it's no spend Mondays, or it's no spend Fridays. This is a great way to keep that habit of reminding yourself when you're going in and unintentionally spending. I think this is a big theme here, because I see so many people just dropping so much money and not paying attention to it. I think that's one of the reasons I try to focus on it, because I see it around me as a problem. But these no spend challenges and having them on a rotation really does keep your brain in the right space. Number 24 is to put savings, so all this money that you're savings, that you don't need right away. You don't need it liquid. And what does that mean if you don't know what liquid cash is? Meaning it's right there. You can get it quickly. Putting it in a high yield savings account. This isn't where it's not liquid, where you can't get to it, but it's not as quick. So you might have, for me, okay, so there's the savings account that's linked to, that's with my bank, that's with my checking, it's my savings, okay? I can quickly move money in and out of either account at any point that I might need to. So let's say there's an emergency expense, the dog's laying right here on the couch with me, it's $700. Well, gotta move that out of my savings because I didn't budget for that. It's not in the budget, it's not sitting in the checking account. I can easily do that. But let's say you're saving up for something else, a big vacation, a semester of college tuition for your child. I don't know, name it. Put that into a high yield savings account. So I could tell you mine high yield savings account currently is 4%. So I get 4% on any money that's sitting in there. And then I get 0.5% on any money sitting in my savings account. That's a big difference. So make sure if it's a savings that you don't need right now, you can put it in a high yield savings. Don't ask me for recommendations on that. That's going to be completely up to you. Do your own research on which banks in your area. I have people who watch this channel from all over the world. Number 27 is to opt for frozen fruits and vegetables if you are trying to eat more healthy whole foods on a budget. You can find, sure, meats are expensive, but vegetables and fruits that you add along with that to stick with that whole food diet can be where you can save. And then you can add in beans or rice or some potatoes as starches and have a whole food diet, which if you cut out that ultra processed stuff is really good for you. But a way to save on those fruits and vegetables, which can be very expensive. And the other thing is they can go bad quickly, and they can go bad even quicker than you think. They may look great in the grocery store, but you get them home and it's like nothing, and they're done before you can even get to them for the week. The thing is also they're less processed than when you put them in a can. So with the canned stuff, it's just so processed. And I understand, like, I buy beans in a can, I buy tomatoes in a can. It's just easy. They don't seem to taste any funky, but fruits and other vegetables in a can, I'll pass, no thank you. Buying those frozen, they freeze them quickly, so it helps with the nutrient staying in the item. And especially if it's something that you love to eat, let's say strawberries in a smoothie or blueberries or you name it, and it's not in season, it can cost a lot more money because if it's not in season, it's being shipped here from further away where it is in season, so the cost could be more. Number 26, if you're trying to save up something quickly, so let's just say the dog did get sick and you had to put that $700 on a credit card and you need to get the money quickly so you don't pay that interest on it. Well, I'm not saying you have $700 worth of stuff hanging around, but it might be a little bit to help you. Selling your clutter. Going through and organizing. I have a great video on organizing or things that you should, I think I called it trash, recycle, or get rid of. I'll put that down in the description box below as well. You can make quick money because there are many frugal people that are online at swap kind of websites, whether it's Facebook Marketplace or your neighborhood website, where they're looking for things. And if you've got stuff like, I don't know, things with tags still on them or fitness equipment, baby items, or electronics that still work, or furniture that you're not using, that you're moved around and rearranged and doesn't fit in the room anymore, you can actually make some quick hard cash. Always be careful on these sites when you do this. Meet safely, make sure you exchange, don't get caught in a scam. I don't do money on any sort of app. That is just how I work with things. I don't trust them. There have been way too many scams out in the world. Use caution when you do that. Look up safe ways to do that, okay? Number 27 is all about planning meals ahead of time. Now, if you've heard me say this, just listen to me for a second. And if you've heard me say it and you haven't done it, whether it's you're planning meals for 2 to 3 days at a time. And what I mean by meals is dinners. That's when we have the most variety. We eat pretty much the same thing for breakfast and lunch. Whether it's you're planning for 2 to 3 days at a time, because you can go to the store that often and that works out well for you and you waste less food that way because we're all different. That might work great for you. Or for a week or for a month. Let's say, however you're planning on it. If you've never planned ahead and seen how much it can save you, then do it. If you've never done it, try it. Do a 1-month meal planning challenge. Not that you plan for the entire month and you go shopping for it, but that you plan ahead for the entire month. So if you plan ahead every 2 to 3 days, you're going to do that for an entire month, planning ahead your meals. If you plan ahead every week, you're going to do that for the next 4 weeks. See how much money it cuts back. So take what you were spending at the store before, inventory how much food you are wasting, like really think about it, write it down, make notes, and then for a month, see how much money you spend by planning and see how much less you waste. And then if it doesn't work for you, okay, you didn't lose anything but realizing that this money tip doesn't work for you and your family. If it does work, then you might have just stumbled upon something that can really help cut back on waste and grocery spending. Don't forget, let me know in the comments down below a great money saving tip. I always love those, but also where are you in your financial journey? What are you here for? Is your mortgage paid off too and you're just looking to nest egg more money away for retirement? Are you off to college here in the next year and you're trying to save up? Or you have a kid that's off to college here in the next year and you're trying to save up, or you're thinking about retirement, or you're trying to save for a mortgage. I want to hear from you because again, this helps me to gauge what videos would be helpful. And if you have some video ideas, let me know in the comments as well. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click on that thumbs up button. Also hit the subscribe button down below. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.